Okay, good morning everyone. Jonas Walsh, streaming live from the northeast of England, and we are live across 4 different platforms on Twitch, Mixer, DLive, and on YouTube. And we are returning to a playthrough was on with back in April, when I was actually streaming regularly back then. We are returning to the Mass Effect Trilogy. I had previously done a playthrough of a Paragon male soldier and gone through the entire trilogy there, and I had started this playthrough, which is the Renegade female Infiltrator. It's the last of my 3 characters that I've always had in the Mass Effect trilogy to go through, and we got so far in Mass Effect 2 before. Obviously, I've been offline since then because of like various factors. So, in my attempt to return to regular streaming, one thing I wanted to do was to get back to Mass Effect 2, finish this one off, get the Mass Effect 3 playthrough done as well, and then that's it. It's all complete. And then all 3 characters are on YouTube in their respective playlists. And that's it. That's the complete set. So, because if I didn't finish this off, it would have only just thrown my OCD into overdrive. So I'm trying to reacquaint myself as to where I actually got to with this. So I believe the last thing that I did way back in April with this thing was it looks like I've just done Jacob's loyalty mission, where we find his father, and the situation that comes from there. That seems to be the mission that it's referring to when it's giving me the chance to restart from a certain point. So, just also want to remind myself what I'm doing armor-wise. So I've already got the headpiece that's ideal for an infiltrator. Yeah, headshot damage increased by 10%. So I think we're at the point where we're starting to do the loyalty missions. I think that's where we got to. My hair's in right friggin' mess. So that's probably what we're going to be doing then for the next couple of hours. So I'll be doing as much as I can with this, and then I'll be heading out to get some lunch for about 12 o'clock, half 12, something like that. And then this afternoon it'll probably be back to Old Republic that we were playing last night with Strike. Just random conquest chasing with characters. But that'll be the plan. On mornings I'll try and get like a game done that's just me playing. So I want to get this Mass Effect trilogy playthrough finished off, and then I can move on to other things that I want to play and put on the stream. So
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal. How may I help you, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
You have unread messages at your private terminal. Garrus received some news that put fire in his eyes. Maybe you should speak with him down in the main battery. Grunt seems very anxious, pacing down in the cargo hold. You might want to check in on him. Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
Take care.
okay, so obviously that's going to open up the loyalty missions for Garrus and Grunt. I'll have to call up in the lab and remind myself what I'm at on ship upgrades as well.
Commander.
I assume everything's going well up here?
Good for now. Fractured my thumb on the mute, but I think I made my point.
What do you think about the people we're picking up?
Well, about the ones you went out with last. Jacob is way too nice a guy for the number of ways he knows how to kill people. Zaid is like you, but takes checks. As long as it's not my money, we're good. It's just my opinion, though. There's really no need to go spreading it around.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
So I think I obviously must have exhausted all of the usual banter between him and Edie already. Until we obviously get further into the story. I don't think Morden's got anything going on, has he?
Still need to get to Tuchanka, Shepard. My student's being held by Bloodpack.
I'll talk to you later, Morden.
We'll be here if you need me.
Okay, so I've already picked up a mission as well. From Morden for his loyalty mission as well. Okay, so those are the upgrades I've already got. Do I have anything I can actually get right now, though? No, because that's just going to be a respec, so I can ignore that. I'll also just remind myself what sort of weaponry I'm using at the moment. Okay, using the Mantis sniper rifle. I don't have the Widow unlocked because I haven't done that mission yet. Where we require that. I'll not be that far off because I know the Tally recruitment mission is also available to me. Carnifex hand cannon and the beam rifle, because the beam rifle is just the best thing for taking down larger enemies.
Thanks for diverting to the Gurns back, Shepard. I appreciate being able to clean up that mess. Maybe not the best way to learn about the relatives, but I'm glad it's done. What do you need?
What do you think of the state of the crew?
Yeah, unless all distractions are removed, loyalty to the mission will suffer. Run this team through hell, and all we're getting is burned. Anything else, Commander?
How we doing, Jacob? What's your sense of the mission?
Doing good, but good is just as dead as bad, if I understand the threat. How long can we last with collectors going wherever they want? Anything else, Commander?
We'll talk later.
Commander.
Okay, so we'll check in with Garrus and confirm, obviously, that his loyalty mission is ready to go.
Grunt seems very agitated. You may want to check in on him.
Yeah, and Grunt as well.
Rupert, there's something different with tonight's meal. Seems like you put in more food and less ass.
Yeah, keep talking.
Obviously got the provisions.
Shepard, I'm glad you came by. I've got something. I may need your help. You remember Sidonis, the one who betrayed my team? I found a lead on him. There's a specialist on the Citadel, named Fade. He's an expert at helping people disappear. Sidonis was seen with him.
What happened? How did Sidonis betray your team?
He tipped off the mercs, told them where our base was. He drew me out with a false job, then let the mercs hit my team. My men weren't prepared. They tried to hold them off. By the time I got back, there were only 2 survivors. They didn't last long. All 10 of them dead. Because of him.
What are you planning to do when you find him?
You humans have a saying, an eye for an eye, a life for a life. He owes me 10 lives, and I plan to collect.
Where do we find Fade?
I've arranged a meeting. We'll meet him in a warehouse near the Neon Markets down on Zakera Ward. Thanks, Shepard. I appreciate you taking the time to help me.
So as this is going to be my Renegade playthrough, yeah, I'm not going to calm Garrus down.
I've got green across the board. The forward tanks are buoyant and elevated.
Are you talking about the Normandy or Miranda?
I'm talking about the one that's covered and protected, not bouncing in the breeze.
I don't know. Operative Lawson's uniform is very official. It always makes me stand at attention.
You're such a dog.
I don't think there's anything more I can do with Jack, is there?
Hey. Tell me about you, Jack. What are you up to?
Still checking out your ship. Wouldn't mind putting her through her paces when you're not around.
I doubt Joker would appreciate that. At least not while we're working.
Relax. Joyriding doesn't have the thrill it used to. Besides, if I wanted it, I'd take it.
That's,
I've been around. Ran with gangs, wiped out some gangs, joined a cult. Kept the haircut. I learned how to survive and not be a victim.
It's hard to imagine you in a cult. That usually involves a lot of rules.
I was looking for answers. Drugs and sex and going to a better place. A better place, right. It was all about money. They wanted to take a colony, shake the suckers down to fund their spread, and guess who was their ace in the hole? They were just like the rest. Didn't give one shit about me.
What'd you do when you found out?
What do you think?
Doesn't sound like you're doing much living. Not for yourself.
Hey, you did me a favor helping with that base, but don't lecture me. Everybody wants something, and because of that, everything is fair game. Murder, assault, kidnapping, drugs, stealing, arson, done it all. And that's the boring shit. Piracy, theft of military craft, destruction of a space station, and vandalism. That was a good one.
Military's a hard target. Bet that made you some friends.
Shouldn't have left the thing unlocked. Besides, parades are boring. I helped.
You were a pirate, too?
Ties in with the kidnapping. If you hijack a passenger ship and don't kill everyone, anyway. Good lesson. Simpler to just kill them all.
A space station? You're pushing what I can believe.
Ain't saying it was easy. Not everything is spur of the moment. Sometimes you gotta work to give people what they deserve. Had some people I hung with for a while. Outlaw colony. Felt like they were like me. Guess that made us a nice target. Turians think they know something about a scorched earth response. Fuck 'em.
I'm surprised you'd even mention vandalism in that bunch.
That's what the Hanar call it when you crash that space station I mentioned into one of their moons and make a new crater. They really liked that moon.
Do you ever wonder if you could have done things differently?
No.
Shouldn't you?
There's no reason I should be alive, but I am. You know why? Instinct. It's worked for me so far, and I'm not gonna change. Hey, Shepard. No one's ever asked me about this shit. It's strange to talk about. Thanks for asking.
Alright, so we've caught up with Jack a little bit then. I'll slowly get myself reacquainted as to what position I'm at and going from there. So, but it's clearly we're at the point where we're going to be doing nothing but loyalty missions. I think I've still got the recruitment of Samara as well, and Thane.
Chambers said you're tearing up the place. Something wrong?
Something is wrong, Shepard. I feel wrong. Tense. I just want to kill something. With my hands. More so than usual. Like it's not my choice. Like I just wanna... I don't know. See? Why do that? What's wrong?
I will not tolerate outbursts on my ship. Get a hold of yourself.
I'm trying. When we're moving, fighting, there's no problem. But here, my blood makes noise. It's screaming. I've got no past to lead me. The tank gave nothing about itching plates and losing control.
Don't know if I can help, Grunt. Sounds like we need one of your kind to look into this.
Most off-world Krogan are warriors. Doctors don't leave the homeworld to Junka. I won't ask you to go there. I will control this.
Joker can get us to the Krogan homeworld. I need everyone at their best.
Thank you, Shepard. I don't like this. Fury is my choice, not a sickness.
Right. I think I also looked through my mission log and there was a number of side missions as well that were still available. I'm not really sure
No messages for you, Commander.
where we want to go first, actually. I do remember, actually, the sort of like N7 side missions I needed to kind of keep handy because I need to have a few missions to do after the main quest is done, because I've actually got one of the mods I've this is a modded playthrough as well, by the way. I've got mods listed on the YouTube variant of the stream. Obviously, if you want to watch back, because YouTube acts as my permanent archive, the mods are listed there. Not a huge amount in Mass Effect 1 and 2, but it's mostly texture mods, some gameplay tweaks, but one of the things I've also got installed in Mass Effect 2 specifically is a mod which alters when Arrival starts, because it makes more sense for Arrival to happen after the main quest, because that quest line is effectively the bridge between 2 and 3. So I have a mod installed which delays the talk with Hackett that starts that mission off. It will happen specifically after the main quest, but I have to do a number of missions first before that comes into place. So I've got to be mindful not to do too many side missions, N7 side missions, because I need them available in order to actually make that kick into play, as it were. So
Launching probe.
I'm probably doing all right for resources, to be fair. I probably don't have to go too mental at the moment looking for stuff.
Launching probe. Launching probe.
Yeah, I'll leave that planet be. I don't think there's any much more else to do with that one.
Probe launched.
That big pile of platinum and iridium. More platinum.
Probe away. Probe launched.
This is obviously the platinum planet. it'll be good to get platinum actually, because that's the ones that's the one resource needed specifically for upgrading sniper rifles, and obviously that's what I'm built around as an infiltrator.
Probe away. Probe launched.
Oh, 2 for 1.
Launching probe.
Fair amount of iridium around here as well, it looks like.
Probe away.
Okay. As soon as it says depleted, I'm just not going to bother, because I don't have to like squeeze out every little thing out of a planet, because I've clearly got enough going for me there. Okay, let's fuel up. Right, so there's recruiting tally still to do. Project Overlord's the DLC stuff. Recapture freighter side mission. Miranda's loyalty mission, but also pick up Samara and Thane, and also DLC quest line of Shadow Broker. Help Garrus and Kasumi in Citadel space. I'll probably hold off on Garrus's loyalty mission, because I'll do that at the same time as Thane. So, what should I deal with first? See, Kasumi's is tempting because it comes with the best SMG in the game, and since the SMG is one of the primary weapons that an Infiltrator in Mass Effect 2 uses, the Castle Locust is the best one, and it's probably a good idea to have that picked up. But I'm also tempted to maybe do Tally's recruitment mission, simply because I think after that we'll get the mission involving the main story where we go to the collector's ship, and that means I'll actually pick up the Widow sniper rifle and I'll start really destroying stuff with that. I'm not really sure what to go for next then. I also want to hold off doing anything back at Ilium. The recruitment of Samara and Thane won't be too bad, but I do not want to do Miranda's loyalty mission until I've achieved 100% Renegade points, because there'll be the conflict between Miranda and Jack immediately following that mission, since I've already done Jack's loyalty mission. And in order to successfully talk both of them down, you need either full Paragon or full Renegade score, or very close to it, I think, thinking back. So it's important that I maxed out. I'm not that far off from maxing it out, but obviously want to make sure I'll do that. Yeah, I think we'll do Kasumi's loyalty mission, simply because I think we want to get ourselves in a position where we're going to have the core weaponry. So if I get the Castle Locust now, and then I'll move on to recruiting Tally, which will move on there, and I'll get the Widow sniper rifle, and then I think we'll be in good stead. You know what, I'm not even going to bother mining it since it's poor and I've already got a crap load of resources anyway. I think I'll just, anything that's labelled as poor, I'll just not even bother moderate and rich, I'll do, because at least it's keeping everything topped up. Ah, well, I've even just one thing and it's already over. I know there is actually a mod as well you can get where you just have to send out one probe and it'll just get everything off the planet. I know a mate of mine, Mouse, has recently been doing his own replay of the Mass Effect trilogy, and I do believe he got that mod installed, but I remember telling him that I tried that and ended up actually crashing my game or doing something. He says he hasn't run into a problem, so I'm assuming there's been an update for that mod. But I haven't had a chance to really check that out, really. I've obviously had to worry about making sure that my streams are working. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a problem with D-Live last night, so apologies again for anyone that's a D-Live watcher, but it actually disconnected and then ended the stream outright and it couldn't reconnect that. I had the video, I had the stream split into two on Twitch and Mixer. YouTube, strangely enough, actually managed to keep one intact video, which actually is good, because it just means that we've got the complete archive there in one file, but it split the stream up on Mixer and Twitch, but unfortunately it just didn't reconnect on D-Live. So I've had this reason I'm late this morning was just I wanted to try and filter out what was causing the problem, and oh, that's poor as well. I'll just ignore that. So the last planet will be Beckenstein. That's been depleted. Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't have enough points to do anything right now. Not really fussed about getting AI hacking just yet. If I Yeah, I think I was wanting to max out Incinerate and then max out Disruptor Ammo, because that'll work in conjunction with the SMG, because the SMG is really good at stripping shields. If I then couple it with a very powerful Disruptor Ammo, then shields are going to get wrecked. Maxed out Incinerate will help against armor. Tungsten ammo in general is going to be good against armor anyway, because it's armor piercing. Yeah, and then any remaining points I'll just put into AI hacking just as a general thing. I really do not use cryo ammo at all on an infiltrator. Cryo ammo is good on a lot of builds in Mass Effect, but I don't have a use for it on the infiltrator, quite honestly. So I'll just forego putting any points there. Right, Kasumi. Well, I can at least get Master Thief maxed out. Reducing time on powers, increasing her weapon damage. Yeah, recharging her powers is actually more important than anything else. Flashbang's nice for it to have, but it's not a primary power. But Shadow Strike, my word, is you need to max that one out on Kasumi, definitely. Okay, I think we can work with that.
Looking good, Miss Allison Gunn. Hawk won't be able to keep his eyes off you.
Take it I'm wearing this getup for a reason?
You look really out of place at a society party in armor, don't you think? You look great. You should wear this stuff more often.
I assume Allison Gunn is my cover?
You run a small but talented band of mercs out in the Terminus systems. Precisely the type of person Hawk respects. I took the liberty of giving you a reputation. Papers, witnesses, article in Badass Weekly. Just don't start talking business with him, and you'll be fine.
Remind me, what kind of man are we dealing with?
Hawk's a weapons dealer and smuggler. He killed my partner and stole his gray box. Other than that, he's not so bad. Rich, charismatic, willing to crack open a man's skull to get at the neural implants inside.
Now's probably a good time to fill me in on the details.
You have been waiting patiently. Our friend Hawk is throwing a party for his closest friends. A couple dozen of the worst liars, cheaters, and mass murderers you'll ever want to meet. All bringing gifts as a tribute to the man himself. Our tribute is a lovely statue of your old friend Saren, rendered with loving detail and filled to the brim with our weapons and armor. You can keep your pistol as long as it's concealed. They won't hassle you over a sidearm. Once inside, we'll make our way to Hawk's vault door, somewhere in the back of the ballroom. Then, we case the security and start peeling away the layers. The statue should be there, waiting for you to crack it open and arm up. Then we just waltz into the vault and take back KG's gray box. And I'll finally get a chance to say goodbye.
What's in the gray box that makes it worth all this trouble?
The gray box holds KG's memories. Everything from all the codes and plans he stole to all the time we spent together. Wrapped up in those memories is the secret he stole. KG never told me what it was, but the information got him killed.
You've worked really hard on this. KG must have meant a lot to you.
Was I that obvious? KG's gray box holds a lot of priceless personal memories. It's all that remains of who he was. But the secret he discovered is dangerous. I wouldn't bring you here if it wasn't.
This ought to be interesting.
That's what I'm going for. This is our stop.
This is definitely one of the top tier loyalty missions out of all of them. Because you...
After you, Ms. Gunn.
Yeah, it's very spy-like.
Hold a moment, ma'am. There seems to be an issue with the statue.
Is there a problem here?
No, Mr. Hawk. Just doing a scan.
I don't believe we've met. Donovan Hawk.
Allison Gunn. A pleasure.
Sir, the scanners aren't picking anything up.
I don't think our guests would come all the way here from Ilium just to cause trouble. Do you? You may pass through, Ms. Gunn. You were invited after all, but I will ask your companion to remain outside. You understand, I hope.
If it makes you feel more secure, she can wait outside.
Good to see we're not going to have a problem. Enjoy the party.
Well, that didn't go as I expected.
Any idea why he'd send you away?
No. We've never seen each other in person, and no one knows what I look like. Just watching his ass, I'm sure. I can't blame him.
What do we do now?
We go on with the plan. You'll just have to do all the talking. I'll stay out of sight and stick with you the best I can. We'll keep radio contact in case something goes wrong. We need to find the door and case the security. We'll figure out the next step then.
Okay, so now we're on the wander.
Oh, that? A quick application of force, a little pressure, and bam, done.
Thank goodness. I thought those rabble would dog you for years.
We don't want to talk to him yet.
What's your read on that Archangel guy?
I hear he's dead. Or gone, or something. Good riddance, I say.
Ah, he's currently on my ship. doing calibrations.
Very nice. There's more here than I expected.
Ooh, the glare.
Protected voice lock, kinetic barrier, DNA scanner. Looks like an EX700 series. Everything a vault needs to be impenetrable.
This gonna be a problem?
Please, remember who you're talking to. We'll need to get a voice sample for the voice lock. You'll have to go chat up Hawk for that. We'll have to find a password too. DNA, child's play. We should find plenty of DNA samples in Hawk's private quarters. And the barrier? Cut the power. Never fails. If we can find it. KG could get through a system like this in his sleep. And I'm better. Let's get to it.
There we go, that's what I was looking for.
It looks like the barrier's power cable runs under the floor here. I'll set your Omni tool to scan for electromagnetic fields.
I mean, I already know, I've played this game so many times, I already know where the thing is, so we're not really going to go too much for a wander there, but... I always figured though that they could just about see what was going on there, but maybe not.
One sec. That should take care of the barrier.
Okay, so I'm just going to divert over to the outside here because there should be a pad that holds information that Kasumi can use for dealing with one situation.
Chief Rowe, huh? She sounds like a hard ass. If we could tap into the guard's communications, I could probably use this information.
Okay, so you can actually engage in a lot more combat in this mission by trying to sneak into his personal quarters from the outside, but there is a way you can actually get in avoiding combat altogether using that information. And all we're going to do here is just deal with security in this room.
Some say Commander Shepard is still alive. Really?
Oh, please. It's wishful thinking at best.
Well, that was awkward.
That door goes to a security room. I'll take care of the lock. There we go. Ready when you are.
You can't be back here.
Over there. I have an idea. See what you can find.
I always do like that Krogan animation from one of the animated movies. 3 credits. There's the password.
Something?
The password is Perusia.
Huh. That's the name of the man who stole the Mona Lisa. Nice. I tapped into their communications. Maybe it'll come in handy. We still need that voice sample from Hawk.
Okay. So now we've got enough to sneak into his personal quarters without having to engage in any further combat. So now I've just got to use my charm on Mr. Hawk to get him talking. Should have enough Renegade score for this.
There he is. All you need to do is keep him talking long enough for me to get a voice print. Pull out the charm on this one, Shep. Whenever you're ready. After you.
Miss Gunn, good to see you. That scene at the door hasn't soured your evening,
Yeah.
I hope.
There's always someone gunning for people like you and me.
Yes, that's true. I'm glad you understand.
Frankly, I'm surprised your security isn't tighter. It's a ballsy move opening your front door like this.
Yes, I suppose it is. Hopefully it sends the message that I don't fear anyone stupid enough to step up to me. People these days want comfort, entertainment, love. They don't see that the galaxy is fragile. They only have to worry about simple luxuries. Why? Because people like me and you are doing the terrible things that keep the galaxy spinning. This party is for us, the cleaners, the support structure for the galaxy's gleeful delusions of peace. May there always be a market for the things we do.
I said get him talking, and you got him talking. You got enough of a voice sample. Let him go.
Enjoy the party, Miss Gunn.
Let's go crack that voice scanner.
Okay, that helps with the Renegade score in total, so all we're going to need to do now is get into his personal quarters for DNA.
Mr. Hawk's private rooms are off limits to guests without security clearance.
I have clearance to go in.
On whose authority?
I have authorization from Chief Rowe.
Okay, 1 second. Chief Rowe, Samuels. Have you given access authorization to Mr. Hawk's private rooms?
They have access, Samuels. They'll stop bothering me.
Got it. Sorry to bother you, ma'am. Okay, you're clear to go in.
Enjoy the party.
There we go. We don't have to deal with any of the dudes outside to sneak in. So I'll just be wandering around.
Look for anything we can get usable DNA from. Just make it quick and quiet.
It's clean.
It's a plant. Found a sample?
No, a credit shit.
One whole credit.
No hair, no skin flakes.
The housekeepers must be thorough. We can probably get Hawk's DNA off the datapad. He seems to have obsessed over this. But I'm not sure there's enough. Let's keep looking.
Holographic interface. Won't find a sample here.
No DNA, but... Looks like Hawk's been trying to crack Keiji's gray box. Looks like he's missing something. He hasn't cracked the encryption yet. Empty. Too bad. A cigarette butt would have been a good source. Not a great saliva sample, but it's still useful. We're going to need more than this for the scanner, though.
More money.
The cleaners don't dare touch treasures like this. We can get some skin cells from the dust. That should do it. Let's get out of here.
So that should be everything we need then to open the vault.
That got it. The barrier's down.
DNA identification affirmed. Welcome, Mr. Hawk. Password required. Voice ID accepted. Welcome, Mr. Hawk.
I'll check for security cams. Go ahead and get dressed.
Now we're talking.
So this is Hawk's vault. Very nice. This scanner will hone in on the gray box. It's not far.
Yeah, I would like to go on a bit of a wander.
Michelangelo's David. Just... wow. Think we could get this out through the door?
You can try.
Hawk has good taste. I'll give him that. Ugh. Rachni Queen. I guess everything's valuable to someone. Doesn't look like much, but that might be one of the most valuable pieces here. Turian art is rare outside of Palavin. For good reason, I say. This is nice. Oddly relaxing. Wow. Imagine that thing coming at you in a dark alley.
Hey, Zero. Thanks for joining in. There's our reference to Dragon Age.
A model of the Kara. It's like a Turian Titanic, the way I hear it. This looks like Quarian script. Wow. This has got to be old. When was the last time the Quarians wrote on stone? Creepy. I could still get money for something like this, even outside the Alliance. Asari go nuts for this sort of thing.
Got off COH a few minutes ago. Yeah, remember obviously we were talking about City Heroes on a previous stream, and that was when we were only just talking about it in the past tense, but yeah, now it's actually a thing again.
I feel like its eyes are following me. Yikes. That's impressive. Not sure what it is, though. How did Hawk get Lady Liberty's head? Damn you, Hawk! That's a Casa Locust. No, the Casa Locust. The gun that killed 2 presidents. Gorgeous. It even comes with a...
You inspired me to make a willpower super strength tanker and COH from Bishop.
I'll take it.
Version as a flash variant. Oh, well, yeah. No, that's a very strong variant. Obviously, I had so much... such a good time with Prince Bishop in the game, and was just literally unkillable. So yeah, it's a good combination, that. Have you managed to get it IO'd out yet, or are you still leveling it up?
Oh my god. There it is.
Don't bother, Miss Goto. It's code-locked. I had a feeling that was you at the door. I knew if it was really you, you'd get through anyway.
You know me. I don't like to disappoint.
I need what's in your grey box, Kasumi. You know I'm willing to kill you for it. I'll admit your skills are impressive. You got into my vault like I'd left it open, but you're still going to die, screaming.
No! Have I got your attention?
That shut him up.
That's why I like your Renegade.
Kill them!
We've got company. Smoking.
Grabbing cover. I see them. Give me a target.
Okay, I'm headshotting. Oop, that kind of screwed up. So I'm going to have to get rid of her shields first and foremost. And pistol. So that's the armor dealt with, so now all I need to do is...
I need targeting. Smoking. There they are. Checking blueprints. There's a landing pad to the east. Let's get out of here.
He's been 15 plus 3, however they introduced veteran levels to get past 50, which makes it easy to get the stuff. Yeah, I did notice actually on some of the setups that they've got these veteran levels that kind of hand out a lot of the current stuff. So he's IO'd out my most expensive. Yeah, tell me about it. I remember on live the hassle I went through to get him kitted out. Because I had to get I think it was the Gladiator's armor one with the defense proc. It's one of the PvP IOs. Always expensive, that. Always expensive. Have I a chance to get back in? Well, I'm being a little bit different. So I am on a server, maybe not one of the big ones that's out there. Half of you set as purples, yeah. I'd imagine that'd be the case. Yeah, so I have managed to play a little bit of it, but I'm not on any of the big servers. But what I've mostly been doing actually is my own server. I actually read one of the wiki pages on how to set up your own box. So I've actually been doing what I've been mucking on with is mostly just been no, I'm not on Homecoming. It was it's one that's kind of been it's not really well known actually. It's kind of just like on a fairly low key one. Just mostly because there's only so many people I'm actually gaming with in this day and age, so I tend to just stick with people that I know. So I'm on a kind of a low-key server that's only got so many of us on. and I'm also mucking on with a box that I'm running myself as well. And it's just me because it's just local on my own rig. But it allows me to like do stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to do in the game. So I've actually got a playable Statesman, but using the actual Statesman in-game model, and also using his signature powers as well. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun with that. Okay, I've got the Castle Locust there. Right, so I'll kit it out enough for the. Oh, it's big boy. Overlord's not on charge. Keep thinking you see some of your friends on like Desi, I think her name was. It might be the case that some of them are on Homecoming. Ooh, that took a moment. The most expensive bill I have to date is my ill kin. Her entire damage is purple. Yeah, I'd imagine that would be the case. Also 11 dodge scrap, and must have hurt like hell when you get hit. The thing of it was, because when he got IO'd out to the hilt, he just didn't get hit. That was the thing. So yeah, it was a case of like, did it hurt? The first thing was that they actually had to hit me in the first place, which was really few and far between at one point. Even I think like the most I could get away with realistically was having it on +4 times 6. But what actually really helped them in the end was I picked up the melee hybrid power. So if I had a situation where he was getting hit, he was taking damage. If I fired off melee hybrid, I would actually get increased health regeneration in the middle of a mob. So the more people surrounding me, it would kind of be like pseudo willpower in that respect. So that actually helped me a lot. So it got to the point where like even if they were hitting me, it's like whatever, I could just fire that off and get my health back, and everything's fine. So you know, yeah, it was always an issue or to be mindful of, but I had that much defense on the guy that it was like it was very, very rare that I got hit. It's like I think the only thing that could potentially be a problem was literally incarnate content, which obviously has like a lot of auto hit stuff. So, but even then, if I'm obviously doing that, then I've got you know, tanks and whatnot backing me up, or brutes or other things that's obviously causing the distraction, so that I'm not the primary target, and then just, you know, wiping them out. So Made a closed region script and you can't do +4 times 8. Then realised, oh yeah, Moment of Glory had no downside, yeah.
Going dark.
I got their attention. Hell yeah. Where the game now is play brute slot, but if you want a solid wall, go tank. Yeah, it was like that back in live. A lot of people were complaining about the fact that brutes were kind of the new meta. I remember people saying that they really wanted willpower, super strength brutes nerfing because they were just like planet busters. Like, yeah, but they're not as strong as tankers still as far as survivability. Yes, you can make them tanky, but you've still got to work at it to make them tanky. Whereas tankers, even without an IO build, were already very, very strong. And of course, if you IO out a tank, then it's even more ridiculous. As in the demonstrations I did with Bishop and Dolomite to an extent. So the good thing about Brute is it kind of makes it makes a good pseudo tank. But if you need the damage output as well. But there's only so many like sets that actually allow that to happen. Like if you did take if you get a super strength brute, then obviously that's all good. But some of the other ones are maybe not so good. Right, I need to strip this dude's shields again, so let me...
Going dark.
Oh, bloody hell, his shields are back up already. Dolomite, probably my favourite of your tunes. Granite is best, but I've gotten my 2 granite tanks around 20 plus. Yeah. I have managed to recreate them on any of the on some of the new servers, and obviously get the IO build that I always wanted them, so I can actually counteract all like the minus recharge and minus damage. And yeah, he's actually a lot of fun to play now. Come on, I need to get rid of his armor. There we go. Right, that's him finally down. See ya. Still really need to get some ammo though. If it's going to be kind. Or maybe not. Nope, maybe not. Oh, I really need something that deals with barrier though. Yeah. Yeah, I was doing an ITF and was on my tank, the willpower one, and our team White Now Brute went with them, and I stood there tanking from me long enough that people hospitalised and came back. Yeah, that's exactly it. you can make a tank brute, but it only really works for certain. So it's like my main brute in Perfume Tower easily could be very tanky because I IO'd out invulnerability part to the point where it was possible. But it was still a case of like the best defense was a good offense, and obviously his damage output was stupid as well. So it was a case of like, yes, I could tank if necessary with them, but it was mostly a case of get rid of them before they actually started doing any damage. Albeit the good thing with invulnerability was I had a few fallback options in Dull Pain and Unstoppable as well as a possibility. So yes, you can do it with brutes, but only certain types, and tankers are still the best thing for just standing there and just not caring. Okay, that got rid of her. Bye. But now I'm out of ammo. It's one of the reasons why I want the Widow sniper rifle, because yes, it's also one bullet per one round, but it does so much damage in comparison that it's going to be a lot more effective. So tankers literally have a passive that makes them what they are, and people argue brutes are better tanks. Said the character creator tankers have the highest survivability in the game. Yeah, they do. That's it. The brutes the brute is there to act as something that can sit somewhere between the tank and the scrapper, so can't do as much damage as a scrapper, doesn't have the survivability tank, but it's just kind of like a nice halfway house. But when you absolutely need the damage, you get a scrapper, especially for single target. If you absolutely need the survivability, you get a tank, simple as. Yeah, you can't really do much with the lack of damage that a tank puts out. You can mitigate against it somewhat, but yeah. Brute as an off-tank, yeah, they're ideal for an off-tank.
This might be useful.
It was weird, actually, because I remember someone suggesting that really the Brute wasn't the tank for the... Because Brutes traditionally were villain only. And I do remember someone saying, actually, that the Brute wasn't actually the tank set for villains. Mastermind was. The Brute was actually more like the Scrapper. Because I still don't have any ammo for the sniper rifle.
Taking cover.
I really need ammo.
Got no shields.
My willpower's gone toe-to-toe with Cronus Titan and just about every GM in the game, including the GM Island. Wouldn't drop my Brute on the other hand. Yeah, the health moved. Don't know about you, but I don't like seeing my health move. Yeah, That's the whole point of the tank, is like you stand there and your health just doesn't move. And especially with willpower, even if it does, it just regenerates back if you're surrounded by enemies. Funny enough, someone was mucking around on one of the servers I was back on. They spawned a load of giant monsters. I think they spawned a load of... they spawned 3 Kraken giant monsters in Atlas Park for shits and giggles. And they did a number and everyone was there. But then I turned up with Bishop and I tanked all 3 of them. And the dude was like, oh, right, he's really tanking them. To which one of my mates, who obviously knew what he was like for years, was like, yeah, you've never seen Bishop tank before, have you? This is what he does. So... he tried spawning more giant monsters and nothing was happening to him. In the end, he just he got to the point where he just basically outright cheated and spawned Hamilton in Atlas Park, and that was the only thing that put him down, because of course Hamilton's got auto hit anyway and bypasses all damage resistance and defense. Yep. No more rockets for you. Ah, finally. Load of ammo. Is that everyone dealt with as well? Yeah. Okay. Bad side with willpower, when my health does move, I have no heal to bring my HP back up. Yeah, the key thing about my IO build on Bishop was it was built around like really ramping up the health regeneration. So obviously it's dependent on being surrounded by enemies, but it was at the point where even just being surrounded by one enemy, my health regen was the equivalent of the amount of HP that a level 1 tank has. That's how ridiculous it was. So obviously a mob, it was like ridiculous. It was like 1,200% regeneration. So that's what the IO build was kind of focusing on, was just really ramping up on the health regeneration. And then the other saving grace was I think had at least 40% damage resistance, which was pretty good at mitigating damage, but he was also at capped defense for everything. So he was in another position where almost like my dodging scrapper, they have to hit him first before they have a chance to do damage, and that was always a problem. And then of course he was using barrier from Incarnate, which just, yeah, that's it. It's like I've got 2 minutes of just not getting hit ever again. You know, again, it would have to be Incarnate level stuff that was actually going to do anything to him. Alright, okay, it's going to put us onto the roof. So we've got the boss fight, but I'm struggling with ammo for the sniper rifle. I think, yeah, the original issue with willpower is that it's easily debuffed, unlike the other shield types, and if the health regen obviously gets mitigated against by enemies, then you're pretty much screwed. So. already got the Donovan and deal with now. Also, Rage Crash was a bitch for a sec, especially when it crashed at the wrong time, because it always does. Yeah, it's a drawback with Rage. I think again, because I was like going beyond cap defense and damage resistance, I think especially with the Incarnate Barrier, I kind of mitted against that, but it's what I find annoying is just not being able to do any damage. Like that 4-second window of just doing 1 damage to everything we hit, and it's like, well, why am I even bothering like wasting cooldown on a power when I should really just stand there and wait for it to dissipate, and then I can actually start doing damage again.
Lay down your weapons.
Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm definitely gonna die. Yep. Flankers on the side there. I'll give you kudos for taking all the SS powers. People nowadays skip punch or haymaker or both, grab jab, taunt, knock out blown foot stomp, and that's it. You can get away with skipping them, but I believe the reason why I still took everything on Bishop is because most of them were using the kinetic combat IO, which is where a lot of the health regeneration boosting came from the set bonuses. So that was the reason why I still took all of the attack powers, is because I really needed to do that for the set bonuses. But you can get away with skipping a lot of it, so you can fit other things in. But it really depends on what it is that you're building, and I mean, theme of the character as well has a lot to play with it. Like, I had to make him act a bit. He was literally Superman, so I had to try and make it be more Superman as possible. So it wouldn't have seemed right to skip on the powers to put in something that, you know, wasn't really associated with Superman. So as long as I could throw punches, stand there and take the abuse, the odd laser beam eye, then that was it. Ooh, could have done with that.
Lay down your weapons.
Oh, sit down. Got him on the move. That's all the foot enemies down again. Really can't take that rocket hit. I don't have kinetic combat in jab or punch. I have absolute astonishment in jab. And punch a head-to-comb and haymaker. Yeah. I've actually done something similarly ridiculous where I've got like a purple set in the basic punch, but on my like own server, I've made use of the max slot command, so everything's 6 slotted, which is completely breaks your build in the sense of like you're way overpowered. But it meant that I could technically 6 slot punch with a purple set that I hadn't used yet on a concept build on the private server. It's absolutely silly. I am planning on doing like some like pre-recorded videos because I don't think I can get away with live stream in any form of COH, but I'm going to do some pre-recorded stuff that I'll probably put on the channel to say, hey, here's some of the stuff you can do on your own server, or theory crafting stuff again, now that it is back. Six slot of Peace Bringer and go God mode. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. But then again, you haven't seen what I've done with the. I've got. Like I say, I've made Statesman. Actually, I've pretty much got every version of Marcus Cole. So I've got a Statesman, I've got a Reichsman, and a Tyrant. Using the original models and using their powers, and Reichsman in particular with his variants of Hammer of Justice and Zeus's Lightning Bolt is absolutely devastating. So you can live stream them. It's not that the servers themselves care that you live stream. I don't think they mind. The issues with the policy on the actual live streaming services, because it's technically a game that we shouldn't be playing because it's not supposed to be out there. I know there's been a few people that immediately started streaming it on Twitch, but got banned by Twitch as a result. I think I know Positive Gamers getting away with it on YouTube, but that's either Google don't care, which is yeah. I don't know if it's because they just don't care or whether the channels just aren't garnering enough attention for them to actually have a chance to care. Yeah, Positive Gamer. He does do it. So I don't know. It's I might do it exclusively on YouTube yet. I haven't decided, but I think I can definitely do at least videos. I can definitely do like pre-recorded videos. There's no problem with that because you know, there doesn't seem to be any issue on making them. Oh, that was a horrible shot. I assume he's dealt with that thing. Where is he?
If I can get to the ship, I can take down the shields. Down you go.
So, have you seen the YouTube rewind recently? YouTube doesn't care that they put together in 5 minutes. YouTube rewind is a long video of basically topmost like videos. Yeah, well, everyone takes the piss out of YouTube rewind. It's always proof enough that they're so out of touch with actually what is meant to be what's actually popular. not just most liked videos, but also most ad safe as well. Or 6:30 a.m. for me. Right, no problem. Thanks for joining in to the stream again, Zero. Good to hear from you again, and it's good to know that you're back in City of Heroes after, ironically, the conversation we had when we first got chatting about it. So yeah, keep enjoying your tank and everything else. And I'll see you again soon. Yep, no bother. It's been real too. Thanks very much. Ah, 1650's ironed out now, yeah. The old Itis is always strong in City Heroes. Right, let's see if we can... Oh, Kasumi's down, is she? Nope. Should be back up now.
Got a clear shot. Here we go. Shields down. Let's tear that thing apart.
That is what Mr. Collector Beam Rifle is for.
Too late to get out of this alive, Kasumi.
Taking fire. Look straight ahead. Get ready.
I would sneak away like a bitch, wouldn't he? Huh, she's gone hiding again.
Coming from the right.
Died in the vault. Now you don't.
We're gonna have to finish this dude off. Goodbye.
Did I do that? Looks painful.
Off. Clearly showing some rust there. Well, that's all good.
Kasumi, if you're seeing this, it's because I'm dead. The information we found is all here. It's big, Kasumi. If the Council ever got wind of this, the Alliance could be implicated. Kasumi, I encrypted the information to keep it safe. And I uploaded the encryption key to your gray box, so no one could get the whole package. But if I'm dead, and if anyone knows about this, then I've made you a target, my love. I'm so sorry.
Keiji.
I know you, Kasumi. You'll want to keep these memories forever. But you don't need some neural implant to know I'll always be with you. Please. Kasumi. Destroy these files. There's nothing more I can do to protect you.
I can't do that. This is all that's left.
Goodbye, Kasumi. I love you.
Is there any way we can just destroy the information?
No. Keiji's a master at encrypting files. He laced the information into his memories. You can't get one without experiencing the other.
If it's that important to you, keep it. Just make sure you're ready to live with the consequences.
Yeah, I am. I'll stay off the grid. No one will know I exist. I think I want this. Thanks, Shepard.
No, that's a Paragon choice, but it's important for Mass Effect 3 when you meet up with her again and do a side mission. So we've leveled up, got to 19, got some more points to spend there. Kasumi's now got a flashbang, although we don't really need to do that too much. Main thing is we've got the Castle Locust, which is the best SMG in the game. We've got a tech damage upgrade. Nice pile of credits, yeah. That single solitary 1 credit chair as well. Ah.
The elusive man wishes to speak to you in the debriefing room, Commander.
Oh, we're actually going to be having to do this mission now then.
How may I help you, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
You have unread messages at your private terminal. Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
It's always nice chatting with you.
It's a message about the people we got back from the Hugo Gurns back. Right. Let's get out the dress. A measly 1000 element 0 in order to get that tech upgrade. Wow. Excellent. That'll help a lot. Right, so nothing else I can do there at the moment.
Passing the elusive man through, Commander.
Well, might as well go get my widow.
Shepard, we caught a break. I intercepted a distress call from a Turian patrol. They stumbled onto a collector ship beyond the Corliss system. The Turians were wiped out, but not before they crippled the collector vessel. I need you to board that ship and get some hard data on the collectors. Find us a way to get to their homeworld.
Hard to imagine how a Turian patrol could take out a collector's ship.
Reports indicate the hull's intact, but all systems seem to be offline. They could be making repairs as we speak. I'm not saying it won't be dangerous, but we can't let an opportunity like this slip by.
If they had a patrol out there, why aren't the Turians sending a recon team in?
They will, eventually. But I intercepted the transmissions. In the meantime, we're feeding them false reports. You're close enough that you can be in and out before the Turians learn the truth.
You sure this information's good?
Information is my weapon, Shepard. It's good.
Send me the coordinates and I'll take care of it.
Already sent. Once you're aboard the ship, establish an uplink with Edie. She'll mine their data for information regarding the Omega-4 relay. Good luck, Shepard.
Coordinates punched in. Let's go find us a collector ship.
Okay, so we're going to be forced into this mission anyway. But that's fine. I want this widow anyway. Okay, so I was like taking Zaid because he's general soldier. And take Jack. She's loyal and she'll deal with barriers and barracks. And then I do the sniping at a distance. Right. I think I want to get disruptor ammo up higher as a priority, actually, because I was not dealing with shield damage as much as I would have liked to there. So I think that might be the priority over Incinerate, because generally speaking, I can deal with armor through my armor piercing rounds and use of the pistol. That should be the case. I'm actually tempted to get squad warp ammo, actually. No, we'll just have her on heavy, and then yeah, because the I prefer that she actually has the damage output maximum for that. Okay, Zaid. We don't have any more. We don't have any points we can use at the moment. Need 2 more points, and I'll max out Inferno Grenade because that's really, really good. Don't need to care too much about Disruptor Ammo and Concussive Shock because I'm going to have that covered. Well, Disruptor Ammo is going to be covered by me anyway, so. Right. And a Sniper Rifle, Locust, and Cannon Beam Rifle. Guess Plasma Shotgun and Cannon. Yeah.
We have a visual on the collector ship, Commander.
Very low emissions. Passive infrared temperatures suggest most systems are offline. Thrusters are cold.
That thing is massive. How the hell did the Turians take it out?
Radar scans do not detect any hull breaches on the side facing us. I detect no Mass Effect field distortions. It appears the drive core is offline.
Rendezvous in 30 seconds, Commander. Good luck.
Never saw a ship like this before.
Looks like a giant insect hive.
Penetrating scans have detected an access node to uplink with collector databanks. Marking location to your Heartsuit computer.
Okay, so try and get through this quicker than I'm done with Kasumi's mission.
Shepard, I've compared the ship's EM signature to known collector profiles. It is the vessel you encountered on Horizon. Maybe the defense towers softened it for the Turians.
Maybe the missing people are aboard. If they're still alive. Same containers as on Horizon. Only these are empty.
No way for a man to go. Trapped in there, completely at the Collector's mercy. What the hell happened here?
Why would the collectors just leave a pile of bodies lying around?
Probably test subjects. Just tossed them out when they were done with them.
They're dead. Nothing we can do. Keep moving.
Make sure she's. Hey, what's up? How do we pronounce this then? Eshatonics? Is that how you pronounce it? Right. Okay, that should be where we pick up the Widow shortly after this. Fun game, yeah. Well, massive Mass Effect fan.
That's a collector. Are you saying those bastards even experimented on one of their own? Edie, I'm uploading the data from this terminal. See if you can figure out what they were up to. Data received. Analyzing. The collectors were running baseline genetic comparisons between their species and humanity. Is there something we can use in the data to give us an edge? These are only preliminary experiments.
Only played through it once, too lazy to do it again. I've lost count how many times I've played it.
Only one race is known to have this structure, the Protheans. I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago. I can't believe the species still exists.
It's good. If I when I've played through the trilogy again, yeah, best character development I've ever seen. Yeah, so I think especially in this game, Mass Effect 2, with the crewmates, that's probably where the best of it is. But it's going back to your comment about the amount of time it takes. Yeah, if I do a trilogy playthrough, like when it's just me and I'm not streaming and I'm not talking to anyone else, it'll still take me a full week to go through it all because I've still got to do everything. It takes about 2 days to do everything in Mass Effect 1 and 2, and then another 3 days to do everything in Mass Effect 3.
You'd think somebody would have picked up on this. No one has had an opportunity to study a collector genetic code in this detail. I've already matched 2,000 alleles to recorded fragments. This collector likely descends from a Prothean colony in the Styx Theta cluster. But there are signs of extreme alteration. 3 fewer chromosomes. Reduced heterochromatin structure. Elimination of superfluous junk sequences. I wouldn't want to live as some kind of mutated slave. Killing a collector's probably doing it a favor. Whatever they used to be, the collectors work for the Reapers now, and we still have to stop them.
Damn straight, they're not doing that shit to us.
Let's find what we need before the collectors come to salvage this vessel.
Just barely got home from the hardest day of my life. Oh, rough time. I just decided I want to watch Mass Effect Story. Yeah. There we go. Give me my widow. Hell yes. Now I'm going to remove some heads. Oh, hell dude. Sorry about that. A couple of years ago now, I had a work colleague died from cancer. We broke up for the summer holiday. Yeah, shit. I mean, like I said, there was a work colleague, someone I liked as well, a couple of years ago. We just broken up for the summer, and then during that time, she got diagnosed with a brain tumor. So I come back from the summer break, and she's not back. And within that following October, had gone. It was that aggressive. It was that was a tough thing.
Too many. I detect no signs of life in the pod, Shepard. It is probable the victim died when the ship lost primary power.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing you can do in that situation is just have friends and family close to get you through it. I think I've been fortunate enough I haven't had to deal with too many funerals in my time involving family or like friends that I've known. There's been a couple of the last, well, yeah, there was I've had 2 work colleagues I've had to see pass away. One was sudden, and then obviously, like you said, the cancer one was coming as well. But I think the other problem, of course, is because I'm not dealing with enough, like a lot of funerals. Yeah, My family put me down, but I knew they would. Oh, that's shit.
Way beyond coincidence.
Something doesn't add up, Commander. Watch your back.
Suppose if you've got that sort of situation with your family, then you've got to rely on your friends. Ah, smothering. Yeah. There is such a thing as getting too much care, being overly cautious.
They couldn't fill all those pods, even if they took every colonist in the terminus.
They're going after Earth.
Not if we stop them.
On the platform there. Looks like a control panel.
Where are the bodies from the crew? Something's wrong here. Edie, I'm setting up a bridge between you and the collector ship. See if you can get anything useful from the databanks.
Data mine in progress, Shepard.
Least the worst is behind me now. Yeah, absolutely. Best thing to do is just move forward with your mates. I think the other saving grace as well to keep in mind is because it can be very painful, cancer. It's bad that they're gone, and it's you obviously still want them to be there, but the saving grace is at least now there's no more pain. It's that's the only. I mean, that was the comfort I got with my work colleague, is because she was in tremendous pain at one point with the tumor, so it was kind of a grace at least that she didn't have to go through all of that again. So. Had a great last year at the casino, and that's, you see, and you can always look back at that and kind of smile about that in the future. So.
What the hell just happened?
Major power surge. Everything went dark, but we're back up now.
I managed to divert the majority of the overload to non-critical systems. Shepard, it was not a malfunction. This was a trap. We need a little help here, Edie. I am having trouble maintaining connection. There's someone else in the system.
So how many times I play this game? I have lost count. I was there for Mass Effect back when it originally came out in 2007. So yeah, I have played the hell out of it since, you know, the 10 years that it's been out. So. Right, I need to get rid of this dude's armor, so I need a pistol for this one. Played the whole trilogy in 2014, and I tell everyone it's the best game ever made, and they need to play it ASAP, despite the fact that I'm too lazy to book in. The story's magnificent. I honestly, if you want to feel like you play through it again, just make sure you've got like a whole week to yourself. If you've got a week like you've got nothing on, and you're wondering what to do, just do it then. Something you can do as an excuse to play it, if you can get a PC version, there's a lot of mods available, especially for Mass Effect 3. There's something called Expanded Galaxy mod, which adds a whole lot of stuff to the game as well that's all new. So that's worth checking out. PC only player. Yeah, highly recommend replaying it on the PC. Check out Nexus mods. Actually, if you look at my previous videos a bit of a shill here, but if you look at my previous videos on YouTube, like my other Trilogy playthroughs, I've had one playthrough on the 10th anniversary of Mass Effect 1 in 2017. I did one on my brand new Vanguard character, and then earlier this year I was doing my Paragon male soldier. But there'll be links in all the videos that link to Nexus Mod, the Nexus Mod site, that link the mods that I've been using. The first two games is mostly just texture mods and a few little tweaks, but the third game there's a lot of mods that I've got installed in there, including Expanded Galaxy mod. I highly recommend that. Alright, let's get rid of this dude, because he's starting to annoy me. Oop, Jack's down. I think I could do playthrough in story mode. It'll probably be a bit easier to do since I'm in it for the story and characters and than I am for the gameplay. Yeah, no shame in that if you just want to experience the story. Just stick it on story mode. I mean, especially for the first game, because the first game's combat's an acquired taste anyway. Has not aged well. Still playable to an extent, but yeah, it's not aged well. Is that it? We all good? Looks like it. Yeah, in a second, ED, I need ammo. It's the ongoing problem with sniper. Power cell box will do the trick, of course.
I've regained control of the platform, Shepard.
I thought we were gonna have to take on every damn collector here.
Perhaps you should consider upgrading my hardware.
Did you get what we needed?
I found data that would help us successfully navigate the Omega-4 relay. I have also found a Turian distress call that served as the lure for this trap. The collectors were the source. It is unusual.
What are you getting at?
Turian emergency channels have secondary encryption. It is present, but corrupted in the message. It is not possible that the elusive man would believe the distress call was genuine.
Why are you so sure?
I found the anomaly with Cerberus detection protocols. He wrote them.
He knew it was a trap? Why would he send us into a trap?
That son of a bitch sent us right into collector hands.
I knew Cerberus would screw me again. I'm gonna crush his head.
Commander, we got another problem. The collector ship is powering up. You need to get out of there before the weapons...
Guess I could watch your playlist for an even easier more. You could. You don't have to worry about obviously stressing out on going through like on hardcore mode like I would do. And I don't skip any content either. I go through everything because my OCD will not let me skip anything, so everything gets done.
Around the corner, take the door on your right.
I do have a little bit of everything as well, as far as like my... This will be like my third and final playthrough that I've got recorded. And effectively I'll have a complete mixture, so this is my full Renegade playthrough. I've got my Paragon Soldier, like I say, he's full Paragon. And my Vanguard's like he's a mixture of the two.
We are your genetic destiny. Your form is fragile. This hurts you.
Let's get rid of him. Walking Dead is a pretty good story too. Are we about the game or the show? Oh, the Telltale game. Yeah, I get why people do appreciate that. It's not the kind of gameplay I'm into, though. I've got to admit.
Trouble incoming.
Right, let's try a new tactic, because I can't one-shot Harbinger. Right, Zaid, concussive shot. There we go. Well, it's the wrong position. Running out of ammo again.
New victim. Nothing can stop me.
Get up, Zaid.
Direct intervention is necessary. I know you feel this. Attacks will tear you apart. I will find you again.
Right, there we go. Practically no gameplay, just a story. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I've still really got to be involved in some form of gameplay. But I at least respect what they did with the game and can see why it was very popular. So I don't want to knock it too much. But going back to your point about that you've played Paragon, that's another reason to either replay it or at least keep an eye on what I'm doing, because playing the game as full Renegade is an entirely different experience, and it's so much fun. It really is. Some of the stuff that you end up doing is just absolutely hilarious. I'm going back to where I came here. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, it's one of the big boys. I think I just don't enjoy ME1 that much. Is that the... Yeah, obviously it's why a lot of people always want a remastering of Mass Effect 1 in particular, because, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they could actually do with that, and just to try and make it not look the same or as barren on some of the planets. But the one thing the first game has over some of the other games is its world and lore building is second to none. This game is definitely the more character-driven one, and then obviously the third game's just the third game, and obviously trying to end that epic story. So. I have to move back. Yeah, it's time to leave. Move, 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 move.
Should have run.
Right, good. Let's just blow that sucker up. That is why I use the collector beam for big dudes.
We got a problem here. A temporary setback on firewall 3217. Rerouting commands through firewall 7164. I have successfully opened a door on the opposite wall. I will keep it open as long as I can.
Down there. Isn't that where we came in?
We must be getting close to the end.
This looks interesting.
More goodies.
It's about to get fun.
Power is unmatched. I know.
Sit down, Harbinger.
Attacks will tear you apart.
I'm getting myself warmed up again, making use of team powers. Wrecking them. That's all I needed to do. Stop.
Is fragile. Releasing control of this form.
Lay down the fire means I eat. That did the trick. Okay, I think this is the point where we just run. And this is where we want Jack to play pinball with them all. There we go. That works.
We're out of time, Commander. We have to go.
You heard the man. Everybody onto the Normandy. Move!
Strap in, people.
Yes, time to leave.
We can't dodge this guy forever, Edie. Get us the hell out of here.
Specify a destination, Mr.
Anywhere that's not here.
Engaging Mass Effect core.
That is the most appropriate response the Joker could give. Right, so that's another level gained, 2 more points. Main thing is, I've got the Widow sniper rifle now, so I'm going to start really doing some damage. We've got a damage protection upgrade, a further tech upgrade, which is going to be really good for me, for general damage. Oh, there'll be words.
Shepard, looks like Edie extracted some interesting data before the collector ship came back online.
Cut the act. You set us up and you better have a damn good reason for it.
We needed information on the Omega-4 relay. That required direct access to collector data. It was too good an opportunity to pass up.
Agreed. But I don't like surprises, especially when my ass is on the line.
I put you at risk, yes. But without that information, we don't reach the collector homeworld, and you and every other human may as well be dead. It was a trap, but I was confident in your abilities. And don't forget Edie. The collectors couldn't have anticipated her.
You could have told me the plan. You say I'm important, but you sure try hard to get me killed.
I needed the collectors to believe they had the upper hand. Telling you could have tipped them off in any number of ways. Besides, I wouldn't have sent you in if I didn't think you could succeed.
You have one job. Information. If I can't trust your intel, you're useless to me.
It's never that simple. You of all people should know that.
I know that I'll be a lot more careful. With the collectors and with you.
This is no time for petty grudges. Things are about to get a lot tougher. Edie confirmed our suspicions. The Reapers and collector ships use an advanced identify friend-foe system that the relays recognize. All we need to do is get our hands on one of those IFFs.
I was just on the Collector's ship. Why didn't you say anything about finding their IFF?
As I said, Edie just confirmed it. Besides, you wouldn't have had time to find and extract it. But we have options. An Alliance science team recently determined that the Great Rift on the planet Klendigan is actually an impact crater from a mass accelerator weapon. A very old mass accelerator. I sent a team to find either the weapon or its target. They found both. The weapon was defunct, but it helped us plot the flight path of the intended target. A 37-million-year-old derelict Reaper. We found it damaged and trapped in the gravity of a brown dwarf.
Aren't brown dwarfs basically stars that didn't quite make it?
Simply put, but accurate. They're gas giants that don't quite have the masses of stars. Expect gale force winds and extremely high temperatures. The Reaper has a mass effect field that keeps it in orbit, likely an automated response to the external threats. It's stable, but I won't call it safe.
I saw what Sovereign did to the Citadel fleet. Hard to imagine anything could stop something that powerful.
This vessel is a relic from a battle waged while mammals took their first steps on Earth. There's no trace of the species that took the shot. Perhaps it was their one moment of defiance before being wiped out.
I only believe you because I doubt you'd repeat yourself so soon.
It's no less a risk, Shepard. We lost contact with Dr. Chandana's team shortly after they boarded. Initial reconnaissance revealed no clues, and it was too risky to commit more resources. But now we need that IFF. I'll forward the coordinates to Joker. In the meantime, I suggest you tell your crew I didn't risk their lives unnecessarily. It will make things easier going forward.
Edie, tell the crew to assemble. We've got a lot to talk about.
Of course, Shepard.
So the elusive man didn't sell us out. Could have fooled me.
Lied to us, used us, needed access to the Collector databanks. Necessary risk.
He tries something like that again and the Collectors will be the least of his problems. Edie, are you sure this IFF is gonna work?
My analysis is accurate, Shepard. I have also determined the approximate location of the Collector homeworld, based on navigational data from their vessel.
That can't be right.
Edie doesn't make mistakes. The Collector homeworld is located somewhere in the galactic core.
Can't be. The core is just black holes and exploding suns. There are no habitable planets there.
Could be an artificial construction, space station protected by powerful mass effect fields and radiation shields.
Even the Collectors don't have that kind of technology.
The Collectors are just servants of our real enemy. And we've all seen what their masters are capable of. They built the mass relays and the Citadel. Who's to say they can't build a space station surrounded by black holes? No wonder nobody's ever returned from a trip through the Omega-4 mass relay.
The logical conclusion is that a small safe zone exists on the far side of the relay, a region where ships can survive. Standard relay transit protocols would not allow safe transport. Drift of several thousand kilometers is common, and would be fatal in the galactic core. The Reaper IFF must trigger the relay to use more advanced encrypted protocols.
Just because we can follow the Collectors through the relay doesn't mean we can take them out. I don't want to go after them until I know we're ready.
Sooner or later, we need that IFF. I say, why wait?
It's a derelict Reaper. What if the Collectors are waiting for us? We may want to build up our team before we take that kind of risk.
The more people we have on our side, the better our chances of success. We need to keep building up the team.
It's your call, Commander. Whatever you decide, we're with you.
Hell yeah, we want everyone on the ship. Morden's everyone's favourite. That's why we don't talk about what happens in Mass Effect 3. Well, Tally on my Paragon soldiers just, you know, waifu. Okay, shields have got a massive improvement there, so that's good. Not to mention, you can't ever go wrong with Garrus Brokarian, because as I like to call them. Don't think there's anything else for the time being. Right.
You had me so worried when you were trapped on the collector ship. Thank goodness for Edie.
That sounds like more than just professional concern, Kelly.
You're more than just my commander. You're my friend.
Edie brought you back to me. If she had a body, I'd give her a big hug.
I'm standing right here. Where's my hug?
Oh, Shepard. I wish there were time to get to know you better.
Why don't you join me in my cabin for a meal? It would give us the chance to talk.
That sounds wonderful. I've been hoping for some private time with you. Lead the way. Goodness, I haven't stayed up that late since my college days. I had a wonderful evening. Thank you, Shepard. I noticed the fish tank up in your cabin. If you'd like, I could feed your fish while you're away.
I'd appreciate that, Kelly.
It's my pleasure. Anyway, what's up?
Is there anything I should know?
You have unread messages at your private terminal. Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
Good luck out there, Shepard.
Okay, so
You received a new message at your private terminal.
I finally have the automated fish feeding feature. It's called Kelly Chambers. Oh, that's a message from Shorban from Mass Effect 1 after helping him out with the keepers, and that's early side mission. Right. Okay, is there anything I can do? Nope, I'm gonna need 2 more points so I can max out disruptor ammo. Still itching closer and closer to full Renegade, but I still need a lot more before I dare do Miranda's loyalty mission, but luckily there's still a lot of recruitment missions to do. So, okay, so not much we can do there. We are going to save. And that's where I'm going to bookmark Mass Effect 2 for the time being. Because, yeah, we've had 2.5 hours and we're past midday. And I'm scheduled for 1 o'clock anyway for the next thing we're going to do. So I'm actually going a bit overtime here. So I'm going to take a break for lunch. And then I'll be back on probably about, well, it might not be 1 o'clock now, but it might be 1:30 at this point, but be looking to jump into Star Wars: The Old Republic with my mate Strike. We'll be continuing some conquest chasing with our various characters, so that's what the plan of attack will be for this afternoon until about 4 or 5 o'clock, where I'll break again for some food, and then yeah, later on in the evening we'll be back on that, unless other mates of mine come online. Might be something else that we play. In any case, you know, it's good I've made a start again with this playthrough of Mass Effect 2, just getting back into the swing of it. So we've made good progress in the sense of I've actually got the core weapons that I'm built around the Widow sniper rifle and the Locust SMG. So now it'll just be a case of just getting the rest of the crew recruited. There's obviously all the loyalty missions to do, so it should be enough to get to max level again. And then should be in a prime position to really kick some ass on this difficulty and head towards endgame. Obviously, there's all the DLC quests to do. We still haven't done Project Overlord or Lair of the Shadow Broker, so that's all still to come as well. So this will be added to the playlist that's already on my YouTube channel for this particular playthrough of Renegade Female Infiltrator. there are previous playlists for other playthroughs of the Mass Effect Trilogy that I've alluded to in conversation with Eshatonics here. There's in 2017 there was the playthrough of my Vanguard, which was a mixture of Paragon and Renegade, and then earlier this year was the Trilogy playthrough of my Paragon Male Soldier that you can check out, plus all the other streams that I've done are all permanently kept on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out there. Be sure to follow me on whatever your preferred platform is. I'm obviously live on Twitch, Mixer, or DLive, or YouTube live streaming. So be sure to follow us to get notifications when I do go live. All the pages, apart from my YouTube page, have scheduling lists as to when I'm likely to be on and what I'll be playing. If you wish to become a patron of the channel, there's a link for Libra Pay. Very similar system to Patreon, but it doesn't have any of the tier reward system. It's just a straight donation system, which is greatly appreciated. I'm also in a drive at the moment with the bar you can see at the top there to try and get a 4TB SSD hard drive because I'm struggling with space to install all the games that I'm potentially going to be streaming. I've got a fair bit installed already that I'm actively playing, but there's a lot more that I could potentially have installed and fire up for any given stream. So if any help I can get with that is also greatly appreciated. In any case, I'll be back on in no more than about 45 minutes to an hour. Likely it'll be some Old Republic with Strike. So yeah, thanks again for everyone that's been watching in. Good to hear from Zero talking about City Heroes again. Thanks for the conversation, Eshatonics. Obviously, condolences again for obviously what you've been having to deal with, but sounds like obviously you've got a good support structure to get you through it. And well, I would highly recommend that you go through the Mass Effect Trilogy playthrough again if you can, or at least just check out what I've done previously and get to experience the story again, because it's my favourite series as seen by the various N7 t-shirts and merchandise. Anything that's got an N7 logo in it, I'll buy 10 of it. That's me. That's how much that's how much of a fan of the game I am of this. Yeah. So rambling a bit now. Okay, so we'll leave it there. So like I say, I'll be back on in about 45 minutes to an hour with Strike for some Old Republic. Until then, thanks again for watching, and I will see you again shortly.